first to the mounting questions about the raid on Mar-a-Lago that still remain, even after the release of the FBI affidavit that was redacted on half of the 38 pages. The director of national intelligence is now investigating, but not any wrongdoing by the DOJ. Instead, the DNI will give a, quote, assessment to top lawmakers about the so-called potential risk of keeping secret documents at Mar-a-Lago, even though Trump legally could declassify anything he wished as president. Not so, according to President Biden.
President Trump said that he declassified all these documents. Could he have just declassified them all?
Well, I just want to know I've declassified everything in the world. I'm president. I can do it all. Come on. Declassified everything. I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know the detail. I don't even want to know. I'll let the Justice Department take care of it.
So it seems the only thing the affidavit revealed was that the raid was all about paperwork. Last night, President Trump filed another motion to get a special master to step in and oversee the review of the files seized at Mar-a-Lago. He also mocked the Justice Department with this statement modeled after the heavily redacted affidavit. His statement also heavily redacted, but in between the blacked out lines, it reads, "Make America Great Again." Very Trumpian move there. Trace, so, there was all this buildup to the affidavit.
Right.
The Justice Department initially didn't want to release any of it. The judge said, no, you got to release some of it. You can't keep it all under seal. And now we're learning that the 200 pages that are, with classified markings or that are in question here were previously handed over by the president.
Yeah, and the interesting part about all of this is you look at the redacted documents there, and throughout this, the DOJ clearly does not want this information to get out. And for 17 days, 16 or 17 days, they have been controlling the narrative. While they don't want the information out, they're happy to leak it. So they're leaking information. It's getting to the left papers, and they're more than happy to publish these stories. So we still have no idea what the real bombshell is that they want there. I think the president still wants a special master to go through these documents. It's too late now. Again, 17 days. You've got the DOJ taint team that's been going through these things with a fine-tooth comb. It's not really plausible that the DOJ, when it comes to privileged information, is going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what the documents are. Nobody knows what they are. Were they important to him? Did he need him? Was the upside higher than the low side? I don't know. I mean, it's a good question, but these matters are always handled civilly. They're always handled civilly. It's between the National Archives. It's not a raid. It is a subpoena, and the FBI has kind of lost their credibility, right? When you go after parents in school board meetings and you go after the former president and you don't go after Hunter Biden, your credibility is in question.
Well, and when you do it for years and years on end and come up short with the allegations they continue to make, of course, people don't trust the movement by the FBI or the Department of Justice either. The Wall Street Journal, Rachel, had some thoughts in an op-ed about exactly what was found in this affidavit or during the raid. They said that this headline, the Mar-a-Lago affidavit, is that all there is? The redacted 38 pages add to the evidence that the FBI search really was all about a dispute over documents, and this is what they wrote in an op-ed. It's possible the redactions in the 38-page document released contain some undisclosed bombshell, but given the contours of what the affidavit and attachments reveal, this really does seem to boil down to a fight over the handling of classified documents.
So here's the bombshell. Joe Biden's FBI raided his political opponent's home for 9 hours, going through the former First Lady's wardrobe and everything else. That's the bombshell. That's what happened. And the way you can look at this is just imagine if Donald Trump had done this to his political opponents. Not only, what the American people would think, but the kind of uproar the media would be in. This is now, as you said, a document dispute, but the bombshell is that we have crossed a Rubicon. This is serious stuff. It needs to be looked at, and the media is shameful in this. They should be clamoring for more information. These redacted, this is a joke. We don't learn anything from this, and we deserve to know when you raid your political opponent's home.
Well, you bring up this question, right? President Trump was impeached over a phone call where he brought up a question about Hunter Biden's corrupt business dealings in Ukraine. They impeached him over that, arguing that he was using the power of the presidency, the power of the federal government, Charlie, to go after a potential political opponent. This seems much worse than that, and it's out in the open in terms of them seeing the raid, but now they want to hide exactly why they were doing it in the first place.
Yeah, it really is the exact same playbook that they used for the entire Russiagate scandal, which of course turned out to be absolutely nothing. And you're right, it is. This is a dispute over paperwork. It's the same as an overdue library book. The idea that the former president, is somehow committing espionage by having these papers that he had access to for 4 years as president, arguably papers that were his to, he had an arguable right of possession to, and certainly papers that he had the right to declassify if he wanted to, and may have declassified. It all comes down to this is another pursuit, no different from the Russiagate thing, and I think you're exactly right. This is 10 times worse than the accusation. What they are doing is 10 times worse than whatever it is they're accusing the President Trump of doing.
Yeah, and you listen to President Joe Biden saying you can't just declassify everything. It's an interesting standard that he's setting there. But actually, according to former law clerk to Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch, Mike Davis, he can actually declassify everything.
The president has the absolute constitutional authority to declassify anything he wants for any reason he wants, and he doesn't have to get permission from any bureaucrat at the National Archives to do that. The president has the sole statutory authority to make the determination whether a record is a personal record that belongs to him or a presidential record that goes to the bureaucrats at the National Archives, and that is confirmed by a 2012 decision by an Obama judge related to Judicial Watch and Tom Fenton's lawsuits against President Clinton related to 8 years of audio tapes in his sock drawers. Well, it is legally impossible for a former president to obstruct investigations into non-crimes. The Justice Department did not have the power to even look at these crimes because it doesn't matter what the evidence shows in this affidavit. No matter what that evidence shows, as a matter of law, it is legally impossible for President Trump to have committed espionage or to have violated some Presidential Records Act.
So, Trace, with that assessment, this entire process is completely unconstitutional and should not have happened at all.
And I think the Democrats are kind of realizing that because you see, and Mike Davis is right, what you see now is the left not saying, well, listen, he doesn't have the power to declassify. They're now saying, wait a minute, did he go through the proper process to declassify things? Did he file the proper paperwork to get these things declassified? Because there has to be there has to be a process. So now the argument really isn't over, okay, does he legally have the authority to do that? It's did he do it properly? Mm-hmm. And if you take it down to that level, the argument gets a little bit weak.
So, Charlie, the ratcheting up to the release of the affidavit when the FBI raid first happened, the media talked all about nuclear material and information, and then we hear that the FBI raided the First Lady's closet. We also heard that they took napkins that were in the White House.
Passports.
We're also now hearing that the National Archives was asking President Trump for those clown-sized Kim Jong-un letters in those massive envelopes. And then they said that they were willing to let him send those letters through FedEx. So if we're really worried about top secret nuclear information, maybe that's what they mean. They're referring to the Kim Jong-un letters that President Trump wanted to keep. But that seems like it doesn't really go with the argument that you can just send something through FedEx if it deserves an FBI raid on the former president's home.
Precisely. No, and it really, especially for an agency like the FBI and the DOJ, which has lost so much credibility over the past 4 or 5 years, they don't have any credibility to stand behind at this point. And they're not getting it back by gimmicks like this and by this effort to redact whatever it is, 20, some or all of 20 pages of the affidavit. Yep. You're not gaining any credibility with the American people. And by the way, let's just be clear. I guarantee you, if we went and looked at, I trust the American people to look at all of these documents, by the way, and I bet if we looked at every single one of these documents, 99.9% of them should not be classified in the first place.
But by the way, this is also a dispute, this document dispute between the National Archivist and bureaucrats and, a duly elected president, Donald Trump. The National Archives are the same people who put trigger warnings on our founding documents for tourists as they come through. So these are not people who really care that much about our Constitution to begin with, and yet they're deciding that somehow the president is, breaking this rule, as you said. I think it was you, Charlie. You said it was more like a library overdue library book.
And I didn't reread the Constitution this morning, but I'm pretty sure that the archivist is not a branch of the government.
That's right.
Pretty sure about that.
And certainly not elected, that's for sure.